we're taking a little break here, and I brought along some small items with me. Figured I'd take a break and show you some of the things from my collection. Some of the smaller things are easy to hike around with, and these are the items that I consider, they are in fact military items. One's fairly old and one's pretty old, and they're the only two items I have of this type. I'll give you the backstory as we look at them, and we'll look at them against this snowy background here in my hand. So here we go. Item number one of my two military things. We'll show them both to you today on this one video. So here we go. So this item is a button. Now this is a surface find. It wasn't really dug. It was something round sticking up towards the surface of a sandy area in a beautiful place called Fort Benning, Georgia. And this item was, I caught this sight of this out of the corner of my eye. We were doing PT on an old parade field in a place called Harmony Church, and poked it out. The sand stuffed into my sock real quick, and fortunately it stayed there the whole time I did it. My PT got back, cleaned it up a little bit, stuck it in one of my socks. Forgot about it for a long time because trust me, at that point in time I had a lot of distractions, and eventually pulled it out and really looked at it. And you can't hardly see it anymore, but there is writing on it. It says USA, and it's a machine stamped button, and this would have been from about the time around 1890s. So it's a uniform button. Probably got lost on that parade field, and I happened to come along and find it. So that's item number one. Item number two is my oldest item. Now that's kind of neat looking, huh? And the story behind this item is that I was at an old, I told a lot of you guys and stuff that I was at an old bottle kind of dump kind of guy. First bottle I ever found, and then I'm going to show you guys here sometime my best bottle and the first bottle I ever found in one video. But I have a really amazing bottle you guys are going to be looking at here. And I was in the process of working at an old bottle dump with a friend of mine, and shoveling dirt out, and I took a shovel of dirt and threw it, and I always had a habit of glancing up and I kind of spread it out as I threw it, so you could look at it in a pile. And as I threw it out, silhouetted against the sky, I saw something that looked like this fly land. So I went back up there and dug around and finally found it in the refuse heap, and pulled it out and said, you know what, that's not every day, that's not normal, that's a unique item. Now the guy I was with thought it was probably a suspender buckle, but it is not a suspender buckle. This is made by the Enfield Company. I'm going to put in the comments a couple links for you to go and look at this item being worn. These were used both on the northern side and the southern side, both the Union and the Confederacy. If this came from the Confederacy, it was shipped in through a blockade and sold to them by the British. Both sides bought these from the British. The Confederates really needed military items because they didn't have a lot to fall back on. So there were, in the town, this was a town dump, and I did the research at the time. There were only 3 people who fought on the side of the Confederacy from the town. There were more from the Union. This is a better example than most. This is a dug item. It just happened to be pretty preserved. It looks really good. There's still some gold coloring paint on it here and there, you can see. but it's one of my favorite items. And I just recently reconnected with it because I moved about 5 years ago to where I am now and was going through boxes and happened to find it. So, all right, those are my 2 military items. I appreciate you watching this video. I appreciate you subscribing. I appreciate every comment. I'm going to keep moving. I'm going to move that direction, which is not south for a change. I'm actually going to be heading east. I got one more item to show you somewhere along that trail. I'll stop, take another break, and we'll take a look at that item. And this is an Ice Age item coming up next. Pretty neat, the only one I have. And I'm very motivated to find another one. And most of the time I'm out, that's what I'm doing. I'm looking for one of these items. And I found a lot of fakers, but never another one like this. And it's on my list. It's on my list. So, again, thanks for sticking with me. Heading that way. Scout out.